Afternoon, people. Here I am back again. Just thought I'd make an update to, well, basically the response I've had to uploading a couple of videos. Yeah, it's all been quite mind blowing, really. To say that, like, as I mentioned in my monologue, I jumped off the ball just over a year ago, really, and just been doing my own thing, really, with being on YouTube, but not actually communicating with the community that's out there. So yeah, I mean, less than a week ago, I chose to get involved in a hangout with a young guy from up in the northwest of England, Jamie Brown, which some of you may or may not have seen. And that was just after watching one of his hangouts, where there was a few guys on there that I took to be kind of down to earth sort of blokes, and it kind of inspired me to want to be involved. So yeah, I did. And then obviously from making them a couple of connections through that, I thought, yeah, I already had my monologue recorded from like the 4th of February. I just never really played it back and listened to it, and so I did, and I thought, well, yeah, I'm happy to put that up. I don't need to edit it or mess about with it. And as for my song, like Battle for Your Soul, I mean, I'd been working on that lyrically anyway for, I don't know, the last few weeks. I've had the tune for a while, but the lyrics were slightly different, so I did, I've done a bit of editing over time just to kind of get it to something I was happy with. And I was just quite blown away by the response. I mean, I'm not suggesting it's gone like viral, but like when I consider, like, I've had my YouTube account for a few years. Some of you may or may not have noticed I've got 2 videos up there from over 4 years ago, of me doing a little bit of DJing, mixed DJing on some Technics turntables. I used to be quite into that in the early 90s, up until the mid 90s. I've played clubs and various situations and entertained reasonable crowds. That all paved way to sort of like family life and stuff going on back then, raising kids. So I still had records, and I acquired these turntables for next to nothing. I had to spend a couple of quid getting them fixed, and decided to make a couple of, well, you could only make 15-minute videos at that particular time as a YouTube freshman. So that was done since I've lived down where I am in Sussex, but in a different place than I'm currently at. And I think I had like 1 subscriber off the back of them. I think that was my son. And like, no comments, no thumbs up, no thumbs down. And one, I don't know, one was just 90 odd views and one was 60 odd. I think they've crept up a little bit because some people have obviously looked at my recent stuff, maybe have had a little nose at them. And when I kind of compare where I'm at now, like what, 2 days in after putting these videos up, I've now got 26 subscribers, so I've gained 25, an abundance of comments, and a few thumbs up, like, on each video. Obviously no thumbs down, which is like great. And a bit overwhelmed, really, to be honest. I never really thought that would be the case. I'm not on there to, like, break records or count statistics, but obviously I was a little bit excited for putting these videos on just at the response. And yeah, I feel kind of inspired by it all. So I think the main purpose really was just to, make a heartfelt shout out to, anyone who's took the time to watch and listen, both the monologue and the Battle for Your Soul song. And just to say, I'm not going to get into individual names because obviously, the people, you actually know who you are if you've been on there and commented and what have you. Or even if you didn't comment and just watch, fine, maybe you'll see this and get the message that way. But yeah, no, just, it's, I'm really touched by it, like, it's fantastic, to say the least. Because I just want to kind of be clear, really, about certainly the musical side, I'm not like, I'm quite humble in what I do with my music. I'm not like a showman, I don't do gigs or anything like that, I basically, I got a guitar a few years back in me sort of period of like throwing the television out of my life sort of thing, and obviously I had a lot of time on my hands to occupy, so when I was a lot younger I had a lot of mates who played and were in bands, and I was kind of, aspired, but, I suppose never really had the inkling to get right into it. I had a little go in the mid to latter half of the 90s after I packed me DJing in, but with family life and stuff, just never really got the time or the headspace to kind of focus and get into it. So I mean, basically, my situation, in 2010, I moved from the northwest down to the southeast, after coming, out of an 18-year relationship, which, I wanted to embark on a new life, and new surroundings, new situation, which is why I'm down here. So it was probably maybe the end of 2011 I kind of acquired my first guitar, and I'd say probably not until mid 2013 when I started really putting a little bit of time and effort into it, like. And again, even from that perspective, it was only really, to play along to a few songs that I liked, and the singing wasn't even in the equation, or writing my own lyrics or songs. So in 2013 I ended up in a bit of a toxic relationship with somebody which turned out to be somebody who had a narcissistic personality disorder, who also played guitar and sang, and did offer me some encouragement towards trying to sing and stuff, because maybe I'd be driving along singing along to something I was playing on the CD, and she used to say, oh yeah, you want to sing, like, and I was like, oh no, it's not. But then eventually I started having a little go, but could never really get the singing to match, it's like singing the phrases to the way my hand was working, or vice versa, and it didn't quite gel for a while, but as with most things, a bit of practice and that. And then when things went really sour and that situation ended, obviously me first sort of songs were sort of more of a release for what I was going through, really, to be quite frank, and they weren't really for, I suppose, public hearing, as such. So yeah, and I couldn't really, I was struggling to get past coming up with material that didn't have anything to do with that situation. So obviously in me sort of jumping off the ball experience, obviously I found some new inspiration, you know what I mean, which is how I come up with the Battle for Your Soul song. So yeah, I don't want to ramble on about me whole life, but I just thought I'd give you a little bit of, because I'm really I'm really humbled by all this, do you know what I mean? I'm not chasing a career in music, you know what I mean? Not at my age, and but it's just nice that people have requested the lyrics, someone's requested them because they want to translate them into French. People have reshared it for me, and a guy, Joe, Question Everything, his channel's called, you know, he's made a little intro for me and that. It's fantastic, you know what I mean? And he actually got more views than I had, like, the day before or whatever. And you know, obviously because more people know him, like, but, you know, it was just great that it was getting out there, like, and I've, I've kind of been asked about, you know, potentially for someone to use it as like a theme tune for some documentary, like, which I've not got into discussion with yet, so I don't really want to discuss that within this right now. But wow, yeah, you know, and just some fantastic, like I say, fantastic genuine comments, like, where, you know, people obviously, you know, it's touched them in some way, and even me monologue, you know, great comments off that, like, and so yeah, you know, I just thought I'd like make a little update video, just to really convey, you know, my appreciation for it all. And I kind of, you know, I'm kind of sort of feeling like I'm finding a little place in all this now, which, you know, is helping me a lot, like, because obviously my day-to-day life, you know, that's not really the case, where I've got like people on the same mindset that I, you know, interact with, you know, as I obviously put across in me monologue. And so yeah, it's all good, like. And just gonna flick a light on because it's looking a bit dark. So yeah, no, I'm kind of inspired now to write a bit more music. Got a couple of ideas, like, just need to start. And I think my next step really is, you know, I'm looking to take, you know, take this to the streets, you know what I mean, and you know, start questioning people, as people have already started doing in different areas, like. Obviously, I took a little bit of inspiration from Beyond the Imaginary Curve team, like, which, you know, for me is doing like a great job, you know, great to watch, like. So I'm hoping to maybe replicate something similar in my area, and obviously bring it to YouTube, like. So yeah, and I've I made an arrangement with one of my sisters to have like a Skype call with her, like, because, you know, they still live up in the northwest, and possibly Sunday night or Monday. And I basically just said, I've got something I want to discuss with you, like, so I'm going to actually tell her, you know, where I'm at, like, you know what I mean, in terms of jumping off the ball, you know what I mean, and give her some links to, like, me stuff on YouTube, you know, and see where we go from there, you know what I mean. And then I'm starting with one sister, because I've got like two sisters, but the one that's like a year younger than me, I feel obligated to tell her first. The other one, who's like 5 years younger, it's a bit difficult because, you know, she's got quite young children. She didn't start having the children till late in life. I mean, I've got like a 2-year-old nephew and a 5-year-old niece, which concerns me because obviously, you know, they're going through the indoctrination, you know, and all the lies. So I'm just worried about what her reaction will be, because it's like it's a tough call. I mean, my kids are like, well, my youngest one's 17, the other two are adults, you know, so I don't need to worry about them in education as such, because they've already been through it. But, you know, I'm just concerned about my sister being between a rock and a hard place, so to speak. I mean, she might think I'm nuts, you know, and not take it on board, I don't know, and whether she'll even have the time to go and look into it and research because of a busy life with the children, you know, who knows. But one step at a time, you know, that's all I can do. But I just feel like it's time to certainly bring it to my family's attention and let them know, where I'm at, like, and what I'm about with this, because it ain't going away, you know what I mean, and at least if when hopefully things start coming up in media and stuff, then they're not going to be left flabbergasted, at least if I give them some insight into it first, and obviously it's up to them what they do with it. Obviously, I'm not going to force it upon them, but I just feel like I need to get it out of myself. You know what I mean? And they can do what they will then with the information. Just as I did when I discovered it. Like, but obviously I didn't get told by a family member. Like, so yeah, it's sort of daunting but exciting times ahead, like, and we'll just see where we go from there. But not really sure there's anything else I can sort of say really at the moment, other than just like I say, just to say thanks for what feels like support and that, and genuine support, and I can't thank everybody enough. It's been fantastic, and I think just what I needed at the right time, really, to be quite frank. And it's got an awful gloomy outside. I still had a bit of sun coming through. There's a big load of clouds took over now. I mean, it's only 10 to 6, like, but anyway, on that note, I'll sign off and say peace and big love to everyone from the heart, like, it's amazing, like. I'm going to check on my tea anyway. Take care.